Oh, welcome Next Witness Awake. I'm your host, Jonathan. Hope that you're doing well today. I'm taking a little time out of my cleaning schedule to talk to you folks. And I was just thinking about the hamster wheel of programming that you find at jw.org. It all seems very familiar. I had a plan when I was coming up with some future topics to maybe do a recap of the year that was for 2022. But then I thought, do I really want to sit down and watch a whole year's worth of programming so I can take note of everything that they're doing? No, I don't. Introduction. I'm just going to kind of reiterate what I remember without having any actual numbers. So you'll forgive me if I don't want to wash my brain with all that crap that they put out constantly. So
Another exciting update regarding freedom of...
in any case, I've noticed that a lot of articles, some talks, some parts on assembly programs have been about apostates and the media and how they're out to get the Jehovah's Witnesses. Do you think maybe we're having an effect on them?
Yes! Yes! Oh, yeah! Can you feel that, buddy? Huh? Huh? Huh?
I think it's possible. It shouldn't be necessary to constantly have articles about how you need to avoid the voice of the stranger or those who are talking against and murmuring against the congregation or putting out poisonous reasoning and etc. etc. It might actually have the effect of bringing to mind that there's people out there who disagree and are willing to talk about it. And if you're just saying, they're saying things about us, but you don't tell the people what the things are, they're going to kind of wonder after a while, well, what are they saying that's so horrible that we cannot talk about it? We can't, or rather, we can't listen to it. We can't do a little research because, if the truth is the truth, then it should be able to stand up to some scrutiny. It should be able to be defended. Well, how are you going to defend it if you don't know what people are saying about it? And they're certainly not going to admit it. They definitely haven't so far admitted what the things are that they're talking about. They may give slight little hints to it. I think they've alluded to saying, I believe David Splain gave a talk about you may be in one of these chat rooms and you don't know who's on the other end. Mate, you should be careful because of the things they're saying. Are they upbuilding you? Is it making you feel good? Well, feelings is part of the way that they get you. It's part of the bite model. It's called emotional control. And they're real good at controlling your emotions because they use music to that end. And they have, part of the thing that they have in these programs is these emotional segments where somebody is overdubbed from some country and they talk in a certain way and they have emotional music put on it. And they talk about how their faith is upbuilt by this, that, and the other. And it comes across as fake and staged. But when you're used to seeing it all the time, fake and stage is actually working for them. So they keep using it, right? So they're doing a lot of trying to get people's emotions to work to their benefit. So they have practically every broadcast, they've got some new song. Definitely every assembly part, they've got some sort of new song. And it's something that's overly emotional, or it's basically fear mongering, or saying that you're going to be oppressed because it's got soldiers that are pointing guns at people and, hanging out in a bunker or out in a field and being chased down by the government who wants to do away with Jehovah's Witnesses or put them into concentration camps or prison or something. So it just cements that feeling that people are out to get you, that it's you against them. So far we've got a lot of apostates are bad, and the media is bad, and the government's bad because they're going to come after you. There's a lot of that. We've also lately got a lot of, hey, we could use some more money. So just recently, what's his face? Anthony Morris. Sorry, I forgot his name for a second. Anthony Morris III is talking about how they're going to start needing to, they're basically firing up the machine of making new kingdom halls and doing repairs to kingdom halls, and how they have to have all these kingdom halls. And this just feels very much like, I think it was, 2015 when Stephen Lett was saying, oh, we got to have all these halls. We need all these assembly places. We need, all these facilities. So we're going to start building and building and building. We've got this goal to meet. And then that goal they were supposed to meet changed and turned into, well, we'll just stick people into the same halls because there's a lot of empty seats. And then they stopped building, but they still were getting money. Give us money. We'd like your money, please. Well, they need that money again. And I bet I know why, because there's a lot of lawsuits going on right now. I don't know that for a fact. I'm saying that based on what I've seen. The number of lawsuits, I don't know. I don't know if there's a list out there somewhere of how many lawsuits are going. I would be curious to know. So if anybody knows, please put that in the comments. If you have any idea of how many lawsuits currently Jehovah's Witnesses are trying to win, or how many settlements they have to do because they're being sued, or they're trying to keep something out of the courts or out of the public eye. So, somebody gets abused and here's some money just to shut them up because they don't want them to talk because it looks bad on Jehovah. Well, looks bad on the organization anyway. I always thought it was ridiculous how anything negative is supposed to be dragging Jehovah's name through the mud. But this is a man-made organization, and clearly it is the governing body who is looking bad, and probably some elders. So anytime I see a broadcast, it does feel like a broken record a lot of the time. They don't have too much in the way of, it feels like they don't have doctrine so much like they used to. The 80s and 90s was kind of the golden age of Jehovah's Witnesses, to where they brought out new publications that would explain some Bible book and, its prophetic significance, and the, the minor prophets, how they are significant, the writings that they have. And now it's just sort of like, well, we've got this interactive book that's going to help to get more people in. I don't know, because their numbers don't really support this whole idea of people coming out of the territory. It's a lot of kids getting baptized, yes. So they keep getting more children, but adults out there from door to door. Doesn't happen too often. Now, obviously it does happen, because you look at an assembly and it isn't all 12-year-olds and under that are walking out there to the pool. There are some adults, so clearly there is some people in the territory that are coming in, but you kind of gotta wonder. So I feel like Jehovah's Celestial Chariot kind of has a couple flat tires, and it's just sort of like on the side of the road, and there's a few angels with a tire iron trying to change the flat. It's just not going the way that they would like. I imagine, people who were Jehovah's Witnesses look at this stuff now, and because their thinking has changed, they're no longer brainwashed. They are thinking critically, which is something that everybody should do. Don't accept everything that you hear. Don't accept everything that I have to say. I might be wrong. These are just my opinions, right? I'm no expert. I'm not a scholar. But, I have my personal experiences and what I feel makes sense to me. So if you're a Jehovah's Witness and you happen to see this, what makes sense to you? Does everything that Tony Morris and Stephen Lett and David Splain and the rest of the Professor and Marianne and the rest on the island, the governing body island, does it make sense to you? Does everything make sense? Because some of the things they say does not make sense. Sorry, but babies aren't evil. That's wrong. I'm sure there's lots of other things I could come up with, but that's the one that popped into my head right now. Think about it. Like the XJW Reddit has 80,000 people that are part of that now. That's a lot. There's quite a few apostates on YouTube. There's a lot on Instagram, on TikTok, all these different platforms. There are people that write books. There are people that have blog posts. There are people that have podcasts. All these different things. Some people have graphic novels. It's a lot of people who are willing to talk about their experiences. Do you think there might be something to it? Is it possible that maybe something bad happened to them? Maybe they were mistreated by an elder or a ministerial servant. Is it possible that they just had some questions about things and then they got kicked out? Is it possible somebody made some mistakes and was put out, and then they gave themselves permission to look into things, and using their mind that they were trained to learn and to talk about things and to try and help people, they went through that process of going, oh my goodness, like, what's going on here? And they decided to talk about it. And here we are. So think about it. If you're a Jehovah's Witness, if you're currently looking at this video, don't just listen to the broken record of the governing body and the helpers. Think about what they're saying. Use your Bible if and think, does this make sense? Is this in context for what this governing body member is saying? Does this watchtower, is it making sense? Does it jive with what the scriptures say? Or is it cherry picking information? So think about what you're seeing on these broadcasts all the time. Why aren't the governing body telling you the things that people outside of the organization are saying? Because if the truth is the truth, it'll stand up to scrutiny. It'll be vindicated, right? Nothing they can say is going to destroy that. But maybe it will, because maybe it's wrong. So think about that. Really think about it. Because the life that you have might be the only life that you've got. And you might not be sitting in paradise after burying bodies and, I don't know, working at the khaki pants factory to serve Jehovah and giving a Bible study to somebody from ancient Israel. Maybe it doesn't really make sense. Doesn't make sense to me. And I have a feeling there's a lot of people watching this. It doesn't make sense to them either. So anyway, I got to get back to work. I got to get up in the morning and do it again. So thank you for watching. This was just sort of an off of the top of my head sort of thing. I didn't prepare anything, and I think it went okay. So let me know. Did it go okay? I've been trying to figure out how I want to do these videos, because I've noticed it. You probably notice it too. I just sort of kind of have, sometimes I have a green screen, sometimes I'm in my office at home, sometimes I'm in my car, sometimes I'm at work, sometimes I just got a white background. So I don't know what the secret formula for my videos is really going to be, but I just kind of do what I do. So if you have any suggestions, please tell me in the comments. I'd be happy to hear them. And just be nice. Don't tell me you suck, because I hope I don't suck. Anyway, have yourself a great day, and don't forget, you're awesome, and I will catch you next time. Bye for now.